Huh? Wonderful. Everyone, you're on your own. We're all on our own. Mic up. Shana Tova. Come on in, come on in. Shana Tova. It's beautiful to see everybody. Shana Tova. Let's start with 5 questions. 5 questions. Am I living the life I want? Do I show gratitude to those I love? Am I taking care of myself? Where is God in my life? Whom do I need to forgive? Let's start on page 203. 203. On the top left, Yom Kippur provides the opportunity to atone for sins against God. However, Yom Kippur does not automatically atone for sins against another human being until one has placated the person offended. Until we ask for forgiveness, we cannot be forgiven. And so some of you are here with those you love. Some of you are missing those you love. We're here with friends and family and our congregational family. Let's take a moment and ask each other for forgiveness and grant each other forgiveness. So turn to someone you love, someone sitting next to you, and let's ask for forgiveness. Okay, friends. Again, on page 203, in the middle of the page, let's recite this one together. A meditation before Yom Kippur. Please join me. I hereby forgive all who have hurt me, all who have done me wrong, whether deliberately or by accident, whether by word or by deed. May no one be punished on my account. As I forgive and pardon fully those who have done me wrong, may those whom I have harmed by word or by deed forgive and pardon me, whether I acted deliberately or by accident. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, my rock and my redeemer. Friends, before we begin the Kol Nidre, we call up our past presidents to stand as witness. We're going to light our candles. Come on up, yeah. Let's all rise for a moment in body or in spirit. Amen, amen. Thank you, thank you. And you may be seated. We remember our past presidents who have gone the way of all the world, who are here in spirit, and we remember our past presidents who are, Baruch Hashem, with us tonight. Charles Gates, I. Bob Davis, Leon Weiner, Sam Robinson, Bernard Flans, Sid Brown, Melvin Engel, Irving Gerger, Albert Friedkin, Sam Merwin, Jack Weingarten, who was here YouTube Live, Kamal Sheena, Sandra Wiener, Stan Wallace, Lorraine Brown, Sandy Wiener, Rabbi Debri Israel Dubin, Sam Axelrad, Leonard Goldstein, Bruce Merwin, Joyce Gilbert, Harvey Rosenstock, Alice Rashevsky, Carol Goldberg, Melvin Buck, Charlotte Axelrad, Shirley Warshaw, Ron Moses, Maxine Goodman, Milton Mosk, Alan Goldstein, Jeffrey Actor, Steve Rubin, Rhoda Goldberg, and our current president, Jonah Paransky. Welcome. Thank you for your service. Friends, we rise as we open the ark. Yeah, the two on the end. Page 204. By the authority of the court on high, by the authority of this court below, with divine consent and with the consent of this congregation, we are ready to pray.
Vishiva shel ma'ala, uvishiva shel mata, al da'at ha'makom ve'al da'at ha'kahal, אנו מתירים להתפלל עם העבריינים. בישיבה של מעלה ובישיבה של מטה, על דעת המקום ועל דעת הקהל, אנו מתירים להתפלל עם העבריינים. בישיבה של מעלה ובישיבה של מטה, על דעת המקום ועל דעת הקהל, אנו מתירים להתפלל עם העבריינים. rimna v'di asarna al nafshatana tindarna Sarna al nafshatana Yom Kippurim ad Yom Kippurim Yicharatna v'hon Kol hon Yehon sharan Yehon sharan Yehon sharan Beteilin vatalin la sheririn v'la kayamin nidrana Sarana la sarei ushvuatana la shvut Sarna al nafshatan Asarna Udeichtavana Udeyacharimna V'di Asarna Al Nafshatana Meyom Kippurim Ad Yom Kippurim Abba Aleinu Letova Kulhom Yicharatna Vehon Kol Hon Yehon Sharan Yehon Sharan Yehon Sharan Beteilin vatalin la sheririn vela kayamin nidrana la nidre Esharana la esarei Ushevu atahana Lo shevu Vacharamei vekonamei vechinoyei vekinosei ushvut Udeichtavana Udacharimna V'di asarna halafshatavana Dindarna Udeyacharimna עד יום כיפורים הבא עלינו לטובה כולהון יכרתנה יהון שרן יהון שרן Beteilin vatalin la shririn vela kayamin nidrana ישראל והגר הגר בתוכם כי לכל העם בשגגה ונשלח לכל הדת בני ישראל והגר הגר בתוכם כי לכל העם בשגגה ונשלח לכל הדת בני ישראל ולגר הגר בתוכם כי לכל העם בשגגה.
The entire congregation of the people Israel shall be forgiven, as well as everyone who dwells among them, for we are all responsible.
סלח נא לעוון העם הזה כגודל חסדך וכאשר נסעת לעם הזה ממצרים ועד הנה ושם נאמר.
As befits your abundant love, forgive this people's sin just as you have always forgiven this people from the time of the Exodus from Egypt until this very day.
ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדבריך ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדבריך ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדבריך סלחתי כדבריך
before you, Adonai, source of all, as this year's embodiment of the soul of your people. Thank you for your gift of life. Thank you for sustaining us. Thank you for allowing us to be here for this moment. Friends, you may be seated. Yeah. Sean, I don't need those notes. I don't need those notes. All right, friends, we'll learn the song first. Ledor vador nagid god lecha. Try that. Ledor vador nagid god lecha. Ledor vador we protect this chain. Try that. Ledor vador we protect this chain. From generation to generation, from generation to generation, Ledor vador, these lips will praise your name. Ledor vador, these lips will praise your name. Ledor vador nagid god lecha. Ledor vador nagid god lecha. Ledor vador, we protect this chain, we protect this chain from generation to generation. Ledor, these lips will praise your name. These lips will praise your name. We dream, and we are the dream. As we sit here in the sanctuary, we are the dream of those who came before us. We are their dream. We are the dream of thousands of generations. We are the dream of those who perished in the Holocaust. We are their dream. We are the dream of our ancestors who sacrificed everything to come to this country for a better life. We are their dream. We are the dream of our parents and our grandparents who prayed that their children would stay Jewish. We are their dream. We are the dream of the founders of Congregation Brit Shalom who built this synagogue community. We are the dream of those who came before us, right? We are their dream. And we dream. We dream of our future. What will Jewish life be like in the next generation? Will our children, will our grandchildren carry on the tradition? Will our children and grandchildren stay Jewish? What will Kol Nidre at Brit Shalom look like in 10 years, in 20 years? We dream of the future. And what are the projections for the future of Judaism? While we here in Brit Shalom are experiencing a season of stability, we're part of a movement that is declining and the future looks bleak. In 1990, 43% of American Jews were members of a conservative synagogue. 43%. In 2020, the numbers dropped from 43% to 17%. The number drops more if we look at the percentage of young Jews who affiliate with conservative Judaism. The percentage of Jews ages 18 through 29 who affiliate with a conservative synagogue is 8%. At its peak, the total number of conservative synagogues in America was 900 conservative synagogues in America. Now we're at 560. Last stat. The average age of an adult member of a conservative synagogue is 62. And our shul is not immune to these concerns. The average age of an adult member at Bris Shalom, not including the kids, is 60 years old. We ask ourselves, where will all this be in the future? We look to the past for guidance, and we look to the future with trepidation. Once, there was a wise old woman and a smart little boy. The smart aleck little boy devised a plan to outwit the wise old woman. He went out to the forest, caught a tiny, fragile bird, and put it in his hands. He approached the woman and said, "Old woman, if you're so wise, do you know what I have in my hand?" The wise woman replied, "Yes, my son, you have a bird in your hands." The little boy looked up at the woman and smiled his cocky half-smile. He said, "Yes, old woman, you are very wise. Now tell me, is this bird alive or dead?" The wise woman reasoned to herself, "If I say it's alive, he's going to crush the bird and it'll be dead. If I say it's dead, he'll release the bird and it'll be alive." The little boy grew impatient. "So what do you say, old woman? Is the bird alive or dead?" Slowly, the wise woman knelt down on one knee, looked at the boy deeply in his eyes, and said, "My son, the answer is in your hands." The future of Judaism is in our hands. The most accurate predictor for the future of Judaism is what we do right now. Yes, we create strategic visions for the future, a noble endeavor. Yes, we create pipelines for future leaders, a worthy endeavor. We base our curriculum in the religious school on what students will be like in the future when they graduate. But what can we do right now? The Baal Shem Tov, the holy founder of the Hasidic movement, teaches that a Jewish community is like a Torah scroll. In order for the Torah scroll to be kosher for reading, it has to be complete. If any single letter in the Torah is overlooked or missing or damaged, then the entire scroll is invalid, treif, we can't use it. So too it is with us. In order for our community to be kosher, every single person here in the sanctuary, every single person on our live stream, everyone has to be nurtured and engaged and accounted for. If one person is overlooked, if one person is excluded, if one person holds back, then the entire enterprise is invalid. In the middle of the Exodus, Moses tells Pharaoh, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh said, No, I will not let them go. This was more than a battle of wills. This was a paradigm shift for the nature of humanity. In Egypt, human beings were valued only for their utility. In God's world, every single life is infinitely valuable. In Egypt, only the powerful matter. In God's world, every single person counts. Moses asked Pharaoh to let the Israelites go out to the desert for just a few days. And Pharaoh finally relents and says to Moses, "Okay, you can go, but not everyone can go. Only the young men can go. The women stay here in Egypt. The elders stay put. The children, stay right here. Moses stares down Pharaoh and says, when we leave Egypt, we go together. When we leave Egypt, we go with our elders. When we leave Egypt, we go with our women and our children. In our community, says Moses, every person matters. Hinenu, we are all right here together. Our Bris Shalom community is experiencing a powerful moment right now. Our committees are populated with experienced leaders and new young leaders. On these high holy days, we have traditional services here in the sanctuary, and we have family services in the park. On many Shabbatot, we have traditional Shabbat services, and we have contemporary Ruach Shabbat services. We are living out Moses' paradigm shift right now. So what can we do? What can you do? What can I do? Engage now. Learn now. Connect now. Lead now. Empower our next generation now. In fact, let's stop calling them the next generation. They're here now. In our programming guide that you have in your hands around you, you'll find opportunities for members of all ages, multiple entry points for all levels, activities, programs for all kinds of interests. The Jewish future is here right now, and everybody counts. When the conservative movement was projecting the future of Judaism with their statistics, we calculated the average age of an adult member of a conservative synagogue at 62. But we forgot about the children. When the Jewish people stood at Sinai, God was reluctant to hand over the Torah, God's precious Torah. Moses and God negotiated back and forth. Finally, God said, Moses, if I give you my Torah, how will I know that the Jewish people will value the Torah? How do I know that they'll keep the Torah? How do I know they'll live out the values of my Torah? And Moses says, I know. I'll find you a guarantor. He said, our ancestors will be our guarantors. And God said, no, not good enough. Okay, our rabbis will be our guarantors. And God said, no. Finally, Moses said, our children will be our guarantors. And God said, okay, you win. The children are acceptable guarantors. For the children's sake, I will give you the Torah. Many of you have heard that story before. God gave us the Torah for the children's sake. But the Midrash doesn't tell us why. Why were they the only acceptable guarantors? Before tonight, I assumed that they were the guarantors because they were the Jewish community of the future. But maybe there's another reason. Maybe it's the children that convinced God to give us the Torah because they're the only ones open to receiving the Torah. Adults, we are often too set in our ways to be open to new insights. We, adults, are often too cemented in our routines to be open to new activities and ideas. Maybe the Midrash is teaching us that Judaism only has value to those who are open-minded, flexible, teachable, curious, seeking meaning and growth like children. So let's stop thinking about our children and our young families as future leaders. Our young people can be leaders now. Our sages teach, I have learned much from my teachers, but from my students, I've learned so much more. The average age of an adult member of Bris Shalom is 60, but if we count the children, the average age lowers by 15 years, a decade and a half to 45. Our sages, our past presidents, our veterans, our founders, bless us with wisdom and experience, invaluable wisdom and experience. Our empty nesters, bless us with stability and strength. Our young families, bless us with vitality and enthusiasm. And our children, bless us with everything. Ribono shel olam, our God and God of our ancestors, bless this community. Guide us in this moment of transformation like you have always guided us for every generation, the Dor Vador. How can you grab
as Rabbi Teller has just taught us, we sit as a congregation at the inflection point of our Jewish now. We come out of the pandemic with a renewed vigor, finding opportunities to, as Cantor Levine so eloquently talked about on the second day of Rosh Hashanah, to authentically connect in person, face to face. We are finding again the joy in being physically present, today as individuals, as families, and as a community. Our community is stepping up to the requirements of the moment. In a year of reconnection, we have increased our investment in adult education, providing opportunities to learn together, led by lay leaders, scholars, and our clergy. We have increased our pace of Friday night Ruach services and have begun regular Shabbat morning Ruach services, providing opportunities to connect across generations in song and celebration. 10 days ago, together we had over 300 participants in our Discovery Family Service for Rosh Hashanah, and we look forward to seeing many of you tomorrow. We see renewed participation in our junior congregation, bringing the youth of our congregation together on Shabbat mornings. With support from our hardworking clergy team, we have doubled down on our commitments to provide authentic spiritual experiences to a congregation with a wide variety of taste and need, providing multiple service options so that each of us can find our spiritual home here at Bris Shalom. We are making improvements in our communal home while developing a better understanding of the investments that will be required to maintain it in the years to come. But how do we make all of that happen? We make it happen through your gifts of time, participation, and of course, money. I want to thank all of you who make our communal commitment to connect possible through your willingness to give to Bris Shalom, to give of your time, to give of your presence, as part of your annual membership dues, and in ad hoc donations remembering those who are no longer with us, and to celebrate the current joy in our lives. Those commitments, however, do not provide the financial support required to allow us as a community to continue to function. Our Yom Kippur appeal is a critical part of providing the resources necessary to allow us to connect throughout the entire year to come. Our congregational goal this year is to raise $300,000 in our Yom Kippur appeal. I am happy to share that over $245,000 has already been committed, with many raising their donation this year in a difficult time, a clear sign that our congregation has joined together to support us in the Jewish now. For those of you who have not yet committed, we ask you to take the time to do so now on your pledge cards that were handed out as you came into the congregation earlier today. Greeters will be picking up the cards in the aisle, or feel free if you need more time to go home and ponder how large you can make your gift this year, to please contact back to us after the holiday or mail your card in. Take the time you need, please, for all of us. I want to take a moment and thank all of you for making our community that gives so much to all of us possible. Toda rabah and Gmar Chatima Tova.
Thank you. As we turn to page 207, we rise in body or in spirit. Page 207 for the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Friends, you may be seated.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני
Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo.
המרי והרבים
Amen. Page 208, a prayer of love, Ahavat Olam.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה ובהם נגה יומם ולילה ובהם נגה יומם ולילה יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו והם נגה יומם ולילה ויעבדך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל
In the middle of page 208, we say the Shema, and only tonight, Baruch Shem Kavod Machuto Le'olam Va'ed. Tradition is that when we say the Shema, the angels say Baruch Shem Kavod. And tonight, we join as one with the angels, heaven and earth combined.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vahed V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לו תותפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 210.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל, כענו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע יום לפני משה, זה אלי אנו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגואלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני.
ברוך הוא ברוך שמו.
גאל ישראל.
Amen. Page 211. Peace in the night.
Allow us, Adonai our God, to sleep peacefully and to awaken again to life, our sovereign.
Spread over us a canopy of peace.
Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name.
Shield us. Remove from us enemies and pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow, and remove the evil forces that surround us.
Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you are the sovereign, merciful, and compassionate.
Ensure our going and our coming for life and peace, now and forever.
May you spread over us your canopy of peace.
Together, Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us and over all the people of Israel and over Jerusalem. Amen. Hashkivene.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu malkeinu l'chaim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, v'tokneinu b'yetza tova milfanecha, v'hoshienu leman shemecha, והגן בעדנו, והגן בעדנו, בעדנו, וחזר מעלינו אויב דבר, דבר וחרב, וחרב ורב ויגון. וחוזר שטן מלפנינו, מלפנינו ומאחרינו, מלפנינו ומאחרינו, כי אל שומרנו מצילנו, כי אל שומרנו מצילנו. שמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום. מעתה, מעתה, מעתה ויד ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני. הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
As we rise, page 212.
כי ביום הזה יכפר עליכם, יכפר עליכם לטהר אתכם מכל חטאתיכם לפני אדוני תתעוררו. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשא בריחו לעילא ולעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן ביעלמה ויאמרו
As we turn to page 213, in a moment we'll take 3 steps back and 3 steps forward, and when we do, we enter God's world, the world of the Spirit, the world beyond time and space. We can reunite with our ancestors, we can feel God's presence in humility and gratitude, and we can feel God's presence and sense our own agency to do God's work in this world. If you're davening, please continue. Grant abundant and lasting peace to your people Israel and all who dwell on earth. Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam ki ata Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol eit u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim
Friends, we turn to page 223. Let's read responsively. Page 223 on the left-hand side of the page. The unfolding of the day of Piyut. May our supplications rise up at evening, our pleas arrive with the dawn, our songs transform the dusk. May our voices rise up at evening, our righteous acts arrive with the dawn, our redemption transform the... May our suffering rise up at evening, our forgiveness arrive with the dawn, our purity transform the dusk. May our prayers rise up at evening. So you continue, middle of page 223 in the Hebrew. Ya'aleh.
Ya'aleh yisheinu me'erev ve'yavot areinu miboker ve'yirach yironeinu ad arev. Ya'aleh zichroneinu me'erev ve'yavo v'yodeinu miboker ve'yirah hadrateinu ad arev. Ya'aleh dafkeinu me'erev ve'yavo yileinu miboker ve'yirah vakashateinu ad arev. Ya'aleh ein kateinu me'erev ביירא אלינו עד ערב.
Continue page 225. Let's read responsively up at the top of the page on the left. The soul is yours. The body is your creation. Have compassion on your handiwork. The soul is yours. The body is yours. Deal with us according to your nature. Haneshama lach.
Shama halach v'haguf halach oy haneshama v'haguf halach haneshama halach v'haguf halach Chusa al amalach Haneshama halach V'haguf shelach Haneshama Haneshama V'haguf shelach Haneshama lach v'haguf shelach Adonai aseh leman shemecha.
Page 226. Eler chapayim atav alachamim nikreta v'shuva horeta Gilad rachamecha v'chatzedach yeshua b'chtai v'arim panav nikedem Yoshat nikedem
תעבור על פשע ותמחה אשם, כיום ויתייצב עמו שם, תאזין שבתנו ותקשיב מנו מאמר, כיום ויקרא בשם אדוני. ויעבור אדוני על פניו ויקרא, אדוני, אדוני, אל רחום וחנון, ערך אפיים ורב חסד ואמת, נוצר חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע וחטא ונקה.
Forgive our transgressions and our sins. Love us as your own.
וסלחת לעווננו, לחטאתנו ונחלתנו. סלח לנו אבינו כי חטאנו, מחל לנו מלכנו כי פשענו, כי אתה אדוני טוב וסלח, כי אתה אדוני טוב וסלח, כי אתה אדוני טוב וסלח, ורב חסד לכל קוראיך.
Page 227, כי הנה כחומר.
כי הנה כחומר ביד היוצר, ברצותו מרחיב וברצותו מקצר, כן אנחנו בידך, חסד נוצר, לברית הבית, ואל תפן ליצר. כי הנה כאבן ביד המסתת, ברצותו חס וברצותו מחטץ. כן אנחנו בידך, מחיה וממוטט, לברית הבית, ואל תפן ליצר.
The third paragraph, as iron in the hand of the blacksmith who forges or withdraws it at will, so are we in your hand, support of the poor. Recall your covenant.
Do not heed the accuser.
As the helm in the hand of the sailor who holds the course or abandons it at will, so are we in your hand, good and forgiving God.
Recall your covenant. Do not heed the accuser.
As glass in the hand of the glazier who shapes or melts it at will, so are we in your hand, pardoner of sin and transgression. Recall your covenant.
Do not heed the accuser. כי הנה קייריה ביד הרוקם, ברצותו מיישר וברצותו מעקם. כן אנחנו בידך, אלקנו ונוקם, לברית הבית, ואל תפן ליצר. כי הנה ככסף ביד הצורף, ברצותו משגשג וברצותו מצרף. כן אנחנו בידך, ממציא מזור טרף, לברית הבית, ואל תפן ליצר.
Friends, we turn to page 233. The ark is open. Let's rise for Shema Kolenu. We ask God to hear our voice, to heed our plea. Please, God, hear our voice and answer us.
Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Chus v'rachem aleinu, v'rachem aleinu. V'kabel berachamim uvratzon, v'kabel berachamim uvratzon, et tefilateinu. Hashiveinu, Hashiveinu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva. Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu Kekeden.
Shuva Chadesh Yameinu Kekeden.
Al tashlicheinu milfanecha. Al tashlicheinu milfanecha. Al tashlicheinu milfanecha. Al tashlicheinu milfanecha. Milfanecha, milfanecha. Veruach kodshecha al tikach mimenu.
Al tashlicheinu milfanecha v'rakodshecha tikach mimenu.
Al tashlicheinu liet zikna. Al tashlicheinu kichlot kocheinu. Al tashlicheinu kichlot kocheinu. Al tazveinu.
Al tashlicheinu zikna kichlot kocheinu al tazveinu. Page 234.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Yimotenu, Salach lanu, Mechal lanu, Kaper lanu, Ki anu Amecha v'Yata Eloheinu, Anu avonecha v'Yata Avinu, Anu Avodecha v'Yata Adoneinu, Anu keholecha v'Yata chelkeinu, Anu nachalatecha v'Yata goraleinu, Anu tzonecha v'Yata roeinu, Anu charmecha v'Yata nodreinu, Anu feulatecha v'Yata yotreinu, Anu rayatecha v'Yata dodeinu, Anu segulatecha v'Yata keroveinu, Anu amecha v'Yata malkeinu, Anu mamirecha v'Yata mamireinu, Anu azefanim v'Yata נחום וחנון, אנו קשי עורף, ואתה ערך אפיים. אנו מלא עוון, ואתה מלא רחמים. אנו ימינו כצל עובר, ואתה ושנותיך לא יתאמו. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, תבוא לפניך תפילתנו, ואל תתעלם מתחינתנו, שאין אנחנו עזי פנים וקשי עורף, לומר לפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, צדיקים אנחנו ולא חטאנו, אבל אנחנו ואבותינו ואימותינו חטאנו.
Page 235.
Ay, 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 Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu dofi, ay, 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 Evinu, Vihirshanu, Zadnu, Chamasnu, Tafalnu sheker, ay, 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 Yatznu ra, Kizahavnu, Lahatznu, Maradnu, Niahatznu, Sararnu, Ahavinu, Pahashanu, Sararnu, Kishinu oref, ay, 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 Rashanu, Shichatnu, Tiahavnu, Tahinu, Titanu, ay, 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 Sarnu mitzvotecha umimishpatecha hatovim velo shavalanu ואתה צדיק על כל הבא עלינו כי אמת עשית ואנחנו הרשענו.
Page 237.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך באונס וברצון. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך ביצר הרע ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך ביודעים ובלא יודעים ויעל כולם אלוה הסליחות סלח לנו מחלנו כפר לנו ויעל כולם אלוה הסליחות סלח לנו מחלנו סלח לנו מחלנו כפר לנו על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בכך שוב חזר
בכל במשתך, יש לפניך, בנשך ובמרבי. ולך בתייקר, ולך בשיח שפתותינו.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בעיניים רמות, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בעזות מצח, ויעל כולם אלוה סליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפל לנו, ויעל כולם אלוה סליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפל לנו, על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בפריקת עול. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בתשומת יד, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בתימהון לבב, ויעל כולם אלוה סליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפל לנו, ויעל כולם אלוה סליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפל לנו.
As we turn to page 243, the ark is open, 243 for Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamov aleinu, Ve'yal olaleinu, V'tachapeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, K'ale dever, V'cherev ra'av, Me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, K'alei chol tzar, U'mastin me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Kotveinu b'sefer chaim tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, Chodesh aleinu, Chodesh aleinu, Shana tova. Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu, Shema Koleinu, Shema Koleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu lefanecha, Avinu Malkeinu Menu Ela Ata, Avinu Malkeinu Asei Mamon Shemecha, Avinu Malkeinu Shalom Tzvah Avinu Malkeinu Slach Machal L'chol Avonoteinu, Avinu Malkeinu Machal B'aver Psha'im Chadashteinu Mineged Einecha.
אבינו מלכנו אחז יראנו בתשובה שלמה לפניך. אבינו מלכנו שלח רפואה שלמה לחולי עמך. אבינו מלכנו זוכרנו בזיכרון טוב לפניך. אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר חיים טובים. אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר גאולה וישועה. אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר פרנסה וכלכלה. אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר זכויות. אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר סליחה ומחילה. כרם שכרך ונגר שמע כל נחוס פרחים עלינו כפה ברחמת
Page 244.
אבינו מלכנו חננו וחננו. אבינו מלכנו חננו וחננו כי אין בנו מעשים עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד והושיענו. אבינו מלכנו אבינו מלכנו חננו חננו וחננו. אבינו מלכנו כי אין בנו מעשים עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד והושיענו.
The ark is closed. Page 245, Kaddish Shalem.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה אמן. וילמד יברכירותי וימליך וימליך מלכותי. וחייכון ויומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו וימרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל. שמי דקודשא בריחו לעילא לעילא מן כל ברכתה ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה. דאמירן בעולמה וימרו וימרו אמן. תתקבל שלא תהון ובאותהון וכל בית ישראל קדם אבון ישמעיה. וימרו וימרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמעיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל. וימרו וימרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום, שלום עלינו, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ויאמרו ויאמרו אמן.
Page 246 for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד.
Turn to page 247. Mourners rise for the mourners Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shemei dekudesha, brichu, le'ela, min kol birchata, v'shirata, tushbachata, v'nechemata, da'amiran, v'alma, v'imru, amen. Yehei, shlama, rabba, min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Ose shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the one who makes peace above bring peace and comfort to us below. Together we say, amen, amen. Mr. President, one more time.
Awesome. One last time today, but this time I promise we're not talking about money. Shana Tova, everyone. My name is Jonah Paransky, president of Congregation Bris Shalom. It is fantastic to share these high holidays with all of you together, both those of you here together with us in person, as well as those of you who are joining us online tonight. With special thanks tonight to Rabbi Teller, Cantor Levine, Chazan Krohn, our accompanist Charlie Tauber, Melissa Magenheim, and our wonderful staff for making the high holiday services so meaningful. Also, a special thank you to those who make our services possible, for those who can't be here in person, to our Gezumbayim, who have made this a tremendous opportunity for those who are joining us online as well. In terms of upcoming events, let's focus on tomorrow. Yom Kippur services start tomorrow at 9 o'clock a.m. Here in the main sanctuary. For those of you who will be joining us with our family services and programming, our family service begins at the Nature Discovery Center tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m., followed by family-appropriate programming in the Nature Discovery Center area after services. Tomorrow afternoon, we have a discussion led by JFS Houston around the damage the pandemic has had on mental health and coping skills and strategies to help others at 4:30 p.m. Our mincha service is at 5:30 p.m., and our teens are participating in person chanting Haftorah tomorrow, and so come back to us for that experience as well. Our Ne'ilah service is at 6:40 p.m. tomorrow evening, shofar blast at 7:40 p.m. tomorrow evening, and then we will conclude with a congregational break fast happening after services. With that, Gemar Chatima Tova.
Gemar Chatima Tova. Thank you. We turn to page 250 as we conclude our service this evening with the Yigdal.
Yigdal Elohim Chai ve'yishtabach Imtzav yenet el metziuto Echad yein yachid keichodo Ne'lam v'gam ein sof la'achdoto Ein lo demut haguf yeino guf Lo na'aroch elav kedushato Kadmon lechol davar asher nivra Rishon v'ein reishit lereishito Hino Adon Olam v'chol notzar Yoreh gedulato u'malchuto Shefa nevuato netano El anshei segulato תפארתו לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד נביא ומביט את תמונתו תורת אמת נתן לעמו אל על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו לעולמים לזולתו צופה ויודע שתורנו מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו גומל לאיש חסד כמפעלו נותן לרשע רע כרישתו ישלח לקץ ימין משיחנו לפתות מחכה קץ ישועתו מתים יחיה אל ברוב חסדו ברוך עד שם תהילתו מתים יחיה ברוב חסדו ברוך עד שם תהילתו.
As we rise for a priestly benediction.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. שנה טובה.